Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, we've got this G8X M3 from GP Products all the way from the Netherlands. And we've got Rowan here who has bought the car the whole way across to have some special upgrades. So we're going to be installing the CSF intake manifold on this car. So it's the upgraded intake manifold. We've also got it in a very special color. But before we jump into that, can you talk us through this particular car? Because obviously you've got a lot of upgrades on the exterior and obviously the color as well. Some people obviously it's a little bit dirty, but also at the same time,
not a little bit dirty. It's completely dirty because we traveled for like 600 kilometers today. It's the Isle of Man green, so it's a stock color on the M3 and M4, but we wrapped it in XPEL Stealth, so that gives it the matte satin look that it has. That's the most noticeable thing we've done to the car so far. But yeah, we did a lot of changes already, and there's a lot more to come. So these is also really noticeable. The CSL style headlights. It's a module
very cool little detail.
Yeah, it's a module that changes the color of the light and that's it. But it changes the complete look, gives it a more aggressive look. We use a lot of R44 carbon fiber, so carbon fiber grille, these lower grills, also the splitter, front splitter, but these are from AC Schnitzer. So we had quite a big of a mix of parts that we like. For now we are running stock wheels. We painted them in bronze color, just a custom color we think that looks great on the car when it's clean.
And you've got some winter tyres on there ready, so you're ready to absolutely truck it with all the weather that's on there at the moment. I think the front end looks absolutely crazy with the aggressiveness and also the carbon snout as well. I think that makes a massive difference on the front end.
Way better than the stock grill.
And the R44, is it kidneys, are we calling them? Like kidney grills? Much more aggressive. So yeah, the front end looks insane.
Thank you. We lowered the car with Cobra suspension. I don't know if you've heard of
Dutch
it.
brand,
It's a Dutch brand. And they're adjustable. So it's not a complete setup, not with the dampers, only the springs, but then adjustable.
Or like a height adjustable spring kit. Oh, that's cool.
R44 carbon fiber, also the side skirts, the wing mirrors, and the antenna. Is it called antenna in
Antenna,
English? Yeah.
Carbon fiber everything.
Yeah, carbon fiber a lot. Not everything yet. We tinted the front windows in a light tint because we can't go darker than it is right now. During the Dutch regulations. The rear windows a little bit darker. And then we come to the back and there we see a lot more carbon fiber, also R44. But the diffuser is a Krapovic. And we use that because we also used a Krapovic exhaust. And for now it's a slip-on, so it's the rear section of the exhaust. But we're going for the full exhaust. Back to that later. And a big spoiler, of course, not like the big wing that's with uprights, but a lower wing because an M3 has a better shape for a lower wing, and the M4 can have
for a bigger race car kind of wing. But I think the exhaust is quite interesting because it's not many cars that have this particular tailpipe design.
True.
So when I saw them advertise it, I wasn't really particularly too sold on it. But I think now after seeing it in real life, I think it works perfectly with all the lines on the car.
Yeah, it works perfectly, especially in this diffuser. It's just, like it's meant to be like this. It sounds way better, but it's not completely there because there's still an OPF in the system. So that's something we need to change, of course. Some other bit we changed are the rear lights. So also CSL style lights, like the front lights, we also have the rear lights.
So something to set it apart from all the other M3s that are off on the road is sort of like an OEM Plus kind of look.
OEM Plus, this is Plus I think. So we have the E-Venturi intakes, and that also fixes a lot to the sound. Not only the sound but also the power. E-Venturi carbon fiber engine cover, and under that there's something new.
The secret sauce.
The secret sauce, something you are going to reveal.
Yep, and we'll do that a little bit later on in the video. I think the intakes on these cars are obviously a must, because obviously you want a lot more intake sounds. Obviously the factory intake, it works okay, but if you really want to release all those turbo noises, you're driving down the road like I was earlier, and you can hear it quite a lot from the outside. So I think that's
not
a must.
with every car. Like some cars, they stay quiet, but on this car, you really notice the sound difference.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's going to get even bigger when you run obviously bigger turbos or aftermarket ECU software.
Big turbos. That sounds cool.
So yeah, I think that's basically everything on this particular car. Obviously, if you guys want to follow the build, it's Absolute Motors, GP Products, and also what's the Instagram name for this specific car?
So that's M3.G80.GP.
Perfect, and we'll put obviously the name in the description of the video and also on screen so you guys can follow the progress of the build. So yeah, thank you very much for coming across, bringing the car to us. It's an honour to be able to install obviously the first one for you guys, first of many I hope. So yeah, let's get this on the car and get you guys back on the road.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so we've finally removed the standard intake manifold, and obviously we've got it here just beside me, and then we've got the CSF intake manifold here. So it's quite a lot of work, this being a X-Drive model, a little bit more so than what you'd have on the normal two-wheel drive model, but we got there in the end. So some of the differences between the factory charge cooler and the CSF charge cooler, obviously when we're fitting a charge cooler to a car or a high performance one, we want to increase the performance. So performance wise, CSF has obviously already extensively tested this, and they report around a 15 to 20 degree Celsius difference between the OEM manifold and the CSF manifold, so it's quite a significant improvement. When you actually look at the manifold, you can see inside how much more densely packed the CSF PWR core is, so it looks like it's got a lot more surface area inside it. What's more is the factory charge cooler is made from a tube and fin construction. So there's been failures already of these up to around about 27 PSI, which obviously if you're running aftermarket ECU software, you're right up there. So the standard cooler probably isn't going to last particularly very long, especially after a few heat cycles at increased boost levels. And as well as being a tube and fin construction, the factory manifold still has the crimped on core to the plastic end tank, whereas the CSF one is completely welded the whole entire way across, so it's not going to fail in the same way. And I believe CSF tested it up to around 120 PSI, which is probably more than anyone's ever going to run on these cars, but I would like to see it one day. So other things you've got other than just the charge cooler itself, so you've got the Kylux inlet manifold gasket. Probably absolutely butchered that pronunciation, but what this gasket does is it protects the intake manifold or the charge cooler from the heat that comes from the engine. So there's a little bit of a barrier there, and that again just improves the performance of the charge cooler by letting less heat soak into it, allowing the charge cooler to do all the heat exchange that it needs to do. Other things you've got on here is we've got a fuel rail as well, which is for the indirect injection that you've got ports for all the way along the front, and then on the back you've got ports for the water methanol and also the nitrous, whichever one you want to run. Obviously this is for the guys that are really pushing the envelope of like the bigger turbo conversions in really hot climates. As well as that, you've got a pad on the back where you can have multiple different like vacuum ports, which is very handy when you're obviously setting up like the water meth and other different triggers dependent on the vacuum. And of course we've also then got the custom finish that this particular customer went for, which is the BMW M carbon ceramic with a satin lacquer on there. So this is paint matched to the original calipers on the car with a nice satin lacquer. Obviously you can do gloss as well if you wanted gloss. But yeah, so that's the intake manifold compared to the standard one. And we're just going to get this on the car. Looking forward to seeing what it looks like once we've got it all wrapped up. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch other videos of ours that YouTube thinks you'll like, then click up here. If you'd like to watch some other videos that we have in the same playlist, then click here. And obviously, if you enjoyed the video, then we really appreciate if you gave us a subscription. And then obviously you'll be updated when other videos of ours go live, and you can do that quite easily by clicking here. Hope to see you soon.